I'm fine. The kids are fine. Everything is fine. Hey Bold Babes, welcome back to my channel where everything is fine. We are a-okay. We are so coolio, cool beans. All jokes aside, I am feeling great. So I hope you're feeling great too. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're new around here, then welcome to my channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button before you forget and that bell for notifications because I might not pop up otherwise, which maybe sometimes it's a good thing. But I think we can all use a little bit of weird and real and awkward in our lives because that's what I bring to this channel. So hope you like it. Anyway, let's get going with today's video. But first, a short story. So most of you may or may not know this, but I have been a stay-at-home mom for about 5 years now. And I've been a working stay-at-home mom for 3 years. And I didn't always want to do either of these things. I really had no intentions, pre-marriage, pre-babies, to be a stay-at-home mom. Not that I had anything against moms who did that. I thought they were amazing. I just was like, no, I don't want to stay at home all day with babies. Like, that's not me. But then my firstborn came along and I did continue to work for a little bit up until she was maybe not even a year. So I kind of had a taste of both and I really did fall in love with being a stay-at-home mom. I loved waking up to her and putting her to bed. I loved just being there for every single cute little second of her life. Not being obsessive at all, but a little bit. So flash forward, I found myself pregnant with our second child and my 3-year-old. Sorry, not pregnant with the second child and the 3-year-old. I was pregnant with our second child and we also had the 3-year-old at home, my firstborn. I'm so glad I cleared that up for you. I found myself really bored and stir crazy and feeling lost, not knowing who I was anymore. Typical mom, midlife crisis, except they have it every 6 months or so. But I for sure knew that I didn't want to give up being a stay-at-home mom. I loved it too much. So I needed something I could do from home. I wanted some kind of work from home job that was still super flexible because my husband was also an entrepreneur / freelance videographer. And so we liked to be able to just get up and go when we wanted, go on trips, take days off, whatever. And so that's when I found Mascara Beauty. And of course, it turned out to be the perfect thing for me in my life then and even now 3 years later. And yes, I am a kick-ass mom and a kick-ass wife and a kick-ass business owner. So yes, today's video is going to be about all my tips, ideas, schedules for being a business owner and also a stay-at-home mom. And I'm gonna preface this by saying I haven't always done these things. It's been a constant ebb and flow throughout the years at figuring out, trying things didn't work, trying something else. And I finally feel like I have found a good groove. That's a good balance of the mom stuff while still keeping my business thriving. Because along those years, I spent way too much time super stressed out, ignoring my kids, frustrated because I didn't feel like I was getting enough done, but then also frustrated because I felt like I was doing too much, poor time management. I wasn't taking care of myself, not getting enough sleep, not eating well, all that stuff. So if you feel like you are relating to these things that I'm sharing, the first thing I want to make sure you know is that you are doing a good job. Seriously, pat yourself on the back, take a breath. You're doing enough. I promise you that. And of course, I'm not saying that my situation, that my business, that anything about my life is the same as yours. So some of these ideas might not work for you. Maybe you've already tried them. But I really hope at least one tip in this video will help you feel a little bit more confident in being a business owner and a mom and finding that good balance and good flow and just enjoying it all. Because if we're not enjoying it, then what's the point? So let's do this. So my first, biggest, major, life-changing tip is to plan, and prepare. And then once you have those plans, seriously drop your expectations of actually them unfolding the way that you plan. I know that sounds like an oxymoron because, well, it kind of is. Anyone that has kids know that nothing ever goes to plan. So I feel like once you just understand that's going to play into your business and working from home, it already is going to release a lot of stress from yourself. But on the serious side, as far as planning, I sit down at the beginning of every month and I write down the main super important things I need to do that month. And then once I have those big month things, I split them up into weeks and then go from there. So the other part of that I do as far as planning is I feel like I have a really hard time coming up with like strategies and specific things I want to do when my kids are around. Like it's hard to like have my brain and my ideas flow freely because you're getting interrupted every 5 minutes, or you can hear them like playing, fighting, whatever in the background. And so I obviously do these things at night when they're in bed. So if I know that I want to be doing work stuff the next day, the night before, after my kids are in bed, I will write down specific things I'm doing. So instead of just saying, film a YouTube video, I say, I'm going to film a YouTube video on this. And I write down like everything about that video. Do you know what I mean? Or if your business is like on Instagram, instead of just saying post Instagram tomorrow, figure out what your caption's going to be. Find your photo, edit the photo, like get it all ready so that the next day all you have to do is hit post. Trust me, it saves so much stress, so much frustration, and then you're not sitting there trying to like figure things out while your kids are going crazy. It's much easier to just kind of run on autopilot when everything else is already figured out. So again, with the top priority things, when I am writing my to-do list for my workday the night before, I will write the most important things like first. So I tell myself, okay, I'm hoping to have a productive day, but again, we're gonna lower those expectations and I may only get one thing done tomorrow. And that's okay because my kids come first always. And so as long as I get that one important or like the hardest thing done first, then I know the rest of the day, anything else I do is just kind of extra. So where my business is flexible, I can work whenever I want, whatever days I want. So you might not have that option. But if you do, I really, really suggest, this is tip number 2, 3? I don't know, I'm not keeping track. I really suggest implementing set work times or days or hours and keeping it as consistent as you can. And not only will this be good for you to kind of stay disciplined and to train yourself of knowing, okay, on this day or like during this time frame is when I focus on my business and I work on these things that are important to me that I love doing. And I feel like when you're consistent with it, it also kind of trains your kids. I feel like training is kind of a bad word, but it's not, it's fine. While yes, it is part of my personality to want specific days for specific things, because I'm kind of a control freak. The other biggest reason I decided to do this is because in the past when I didn't do this, I felt like I couldn't let go of the urge and like need to work on my business like every day, because that's what they tell you. But that resulted in me being on my phone all the time, all day, every day. It involved me trying to multitask, playing with my kids while also like doing something on my phone. So like, yeah, I'm just writing this email. Oh, I like playing Barbies. And then I'll stop for 5 minutes and do this. And I hated doing that. It wasn't fair to my kids, and I was doing things half-assed in my business. And it just wasn't a good way to do things. So when I decided to discipline myself and say, you know what, I can get a whole week's of work done in 2 days. Not even like 2 full days. Like a few hours in those days. I just need to work smarter and not harder. And I need to do things that matter and not things that are just a time waster and me prolonging things because I know I have a whole week to do it. No. Setting the certain work day disciplines me to say I have today to do this or it's not going to get done for another week. So then those other 5 days of the week, I don't have to think about work stuff. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to stress about it. I can just focus on my family, on my kids, on housework, and not try and do this crazy multitasking thing. And I feel like I've been doing it this way for so long that my kids just know that that's how it is. But with that being said, they're not like full work days, right? Because I am still a mom. I can't just work 9 to 5 and ignore my kids all day. So what I do is I try to segment my day, and timers are going to be your saving grace. So I usually like to set a timer and tell my kids, okay, mommy's going to go in and work for half hour or an hour, whatever the case is. And so they will watch a movie, or I'll set them up outside playing in our backyard, and I'll let them know that when the timer goes off, mommy will take a break, I'll come play with them, we'll go for a walk, I'll make lunch, whatever it is, and they're really good about it. By the way, the ages of my kids are 6 and 3. And it's important to note when I take these breaks from my work day that my full attention is on my kids. And I think that's really important. I think that once you give your kids that good, undivided, just hour or whatever of like time with them, playtime, that it makes it so much easier for them to then give that to you when you say, okay, now it's time that mommy needs to go work on her thing now. And no, they're not always perfect. Some days are just hard, but For me, I found that that helps. And it's really helped. I've noticed in the past few weeks, I've been trying to do this with the whole stay-at-home thing. We're all going a little bit more crazy. Is instead of trying to get right to work in the mornings, like after I shower and like get ready, I usually kind of like to get into work because I'm so excited and there's things I want to do. I've noticed if I try and dedicate my mornings to them, help them get ready, have breakfast, cuddle, play, whatever, and give them a good couple hours in the morning, they're so much better about me then saying, "Okay, I'm going to go do work now." Instead of continuously pushing them off throughout the morning, throughout the day of like, "No, it's mommy's work day, I'll play with you later. Like, I can't do it right now." Then my kids just get more frustrated, they get more needy, and then it doesn't go so well. So that segues into my next tip. And I'm not trying to give parenting advice right now, but from the beginning, it's been super important to my husband and I to make sure our kids know how to be independent and know how to be bored. And that we think it's okay to tell them no. That sometimes we're like, "No, mommy and daddy really have something that we want to do right now that's important to us, and you're going to survive. Like, go away." I feel like it's important to ignore your kids sometimes. Like, yes, we love them, we need to give them attention, but we really don't need to feel like we need to entertain them all day and have these planned out activities for them every single hour. Like, let your kids be bored, and that's when they get really creative. I feel like that's when they play better together as siblings, and that's when you can focus on things that you want to do. Okay, I know what a lot of you are probably wondering is, do my kids watch a lot of TV on my work days? Yeah, they do. I'm not gonna lie to you, they watch a lot of TV on my work days, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to kill them. Like, it's not gonna ruin their lives. And I really feel like we try and be selective on what they watch on TV. Like, they're not just watching random YouTube videos. We try and have them watch like either educational type shows, shows that are showing like how to be a good friend, how to be kind, things like that. It's fine. So if you're feeling guilty about that, stop. Like, it's okay. But I do still like to break up their TV time as well. So I do like to try and put on like a movie or a TV show that is going to keep them distracted for doing my like top priority thing. So whether it is a training with a team member, getting an email out to my clients, those things that I really do need to just focus on for like a good chunk of time and get it done. That's when I take advantage of the TV time. After a period of time, I say, "Okay, we're taking a break from TV. You guys need to go outside, or you need to just go play in your room with your toys," whatever. My kids are usually pretty good about it. Sometimes there is a bloody battle. Okay, are you still with me? I hope you're hanging in there. This is my second to last tip, and it is that sometimes you will need to sacrifice your fun time. If you're like me, after the kids are in bed, you're kind of done for the night. You had all these big dreams and plans of all the things you're gonna get done while they're napping or while they're in bed, and you're like, "I just want to Netflix and chill." Like, I'm done. And that's totally fine. Like, I'm not going to give you mom guilt at all. But for me, I've realized that sometimes it is necessary for me to sacrifice that time to get stuff done in my business while they're sleeping so that I don't have to sacrifice their time with me during the day. But just like I only have the 2 work days, I don't do this every single night. So I'll usually do it the nights before my work days, like I said, so I can plan ahead exactly what I need to get done the next day. Or sometimes what I like to do is after the kids are in bed, I do a quick cleanup of the house, just like 5 or 10 minutes in each room, just pick up. And then I try and tell myself that I'm going to work on my business for an hour. So again, I'm not saying you should give up all of that precious alone time every single night for your business. Like, you need to take care of yourself. Like I said in the beginning of my video, I did a bad job of this in the beginning. I would stay up way too late. I wasn't taking care of my own needs of just, yeah, sometimes I want to watch my show because that's what I like, or I want to do these other hobbies. So find a balance that works for you. But again, if the day thing or the hours thing is just not working for you, then you may need to sacrifice either at nighttime when they're in bed or early in the morning before they wake up to do some things for your business. Okay, last tip is bribe your kids. Sorry, I meant inspire your kids. Influence them. I don't necessarily do this so much anymore that they're kind of getting older and we've been doing this for a long time, so they just kind of get it now. But when I was starting to get these routines into place and to get their cooperation, I would kind of bribe them a little bit. So on my work days, maybe they get a special treat that day. Maybe I rented a movie for them to watch that they haven't seen before. Maybe we go out for lunch that day, somewhere fun that they like. I've even gone to like Michael's or Dollar Store and got cheap little like craft sets or like a small toy or something. That's just something exciting for them that keeps them occupied. And you don't have to go out and like spend money and buy them toys. Like, please don't do that. It can even just be as simple as pulling something out that they don't play with a lot. Like, hey, guess what? I'm gonna pull out the Play-Doh. Go crazy. I'm gonna go to work. Or maybe just letting them do something you don't normally let them do, like painting or playing with water outside, like whatever. Just make it a little more exciting for them that day and kind of like a thank you. Like, thank you, kids, for letting mom do something for me that I love. So I'm gonna return the favor and let you do something that you love. So see, it's not a bribe, it's a gift. Okay, I know that was a lot, but I'm gonna end by sharing with you what I kind of trying to remind myself of when I'm feeling really frustrated and like it's all just impossible. That sounds really cheesy. It's not going to be anything super great. But I remind myself that my kids are my reason. They're not a distraction. Because ultimately, I'm doing this for them. So your kids are your reason. They're not your distraction. And anything that's coming in between the relationship with my kids or my husband is not worth it. And some days are just going to be hard. Some days my kids need me more than my business needs me. And I need to recognize that. And when that happens, I need to just stop. Like, the business can wait. Being a stay-at-home mom is seriously freaking awesome, but it also freaking sucks sometimes. And then when you add in a business to that, it gets really hard some days. So again, just remember, you're doing amazing. Like, you are totally enough and you've totally got this. Take it one day at a time, do what feels right, place your top priorities first, and you'll be fine. And with that, we have finally reached the end of this video. I haven't even edited it yet, so I don't even know how long it actually is. So maybe it's not even that bad, but I'm guessing it probably is. Anyway, thank you for watching it. I hope it was helpful to you. And please know, if you have any other questions for me about specifically my work days, scheduling, planning, any of that stuff, my email is down there. You can email me anytime. I'm happy to chat with you. If you've been wanting to start a business to work from home, or maybe you want to try something new, you've been wondering about the Mascara Artist Program, email me. It's down there. Thank you again for watching and being here. If you love this video and you want to keep seeing my videos, then you should probably subscribe. You can do it super easy right now by clicking on my face, or if you want to watch more videos, check out that one. And until next time, see ya.